Hello guys, and today I'm going to be doing a video on how to use Adobe Illustrator on the iPad. Now this isn't a full-on tutorial, but this is going to be a part series, so this is part 1, just the basics. So without further ado, make sure to smash subscribe. We are trying to get to 50 subscribers, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this helps you in some way. And most of you guys who are watching are not subscribed, so I need you to subscribe. We're really trying to get to 50 subs, so thank you guys. And without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright guys, so the first thing you want to do if you want to make a new project or something is either click custom size, you press custom size, 1280 by 800 poster, or 1280 by 800, or 800 by 1280 pixels. You can click those, or you could click your, because there's this panel over here, home, your work, learn, which is, learn is just tutorials and stuff. Discover is just seeing what people posted and live streamed. Your work is just all your work together. So yeah, there's a lot of YouTube stuff in here. Right now I'm blurring it out because I don't need you guys to see all my projects. Maybe I'll do a project reveal. Make sure to like and subscribe and make this video get 20 likes if you want to see an Illustrator project reveal. So let's continue the video, the point of it. So the first thing you can either do is create new, which is to create a new size, and there's recent, so it's just the recent sizes you used. Save, you'd have to save a custom. Print, which is different papers you can print with. Screen, which is different sizes for different like web pages or different kind of image sizes, and then illustration, which is different papers that have different sizes for illustrating and drawing. But for the basics, normally 1280 by 800 works for me. Or what you could do is just press import and open and go to files and open what you want there. But what we're going to do to open the photos and stuff easier directly from the Photos app is simply just create a new project. Now you can name this new file whatever you'd like. I'm just going to call it tutorial, and hit OK. You can adjust the width and height over here, but I'm going to select the pixels, and we'll just do 1800 by 1296, and you can select the orientation right over here if you want it portrait or landscape. But I want it landscape. These are the color modes, but I use RGB for basic. Artboard is to show you how many artboards there is to use in your project in case you need multiple to go across. I normally use one. I don't use more than one, but you can if you need it. Or you could just select the size over here, which I'll just select this one, and we'll create the file. And it'll give us this artboard or whatever. It'll give us this artboard or whatever so that we can draw on it. Now, in this tutorial, we're just going to go through the basics and what the UI is. So, yeah. There's also some settings in Illustrator that you can use, but we're not going to get into that in this part 1 for this video. We're only going to get into the toolbar and different tools. So, without further ado, make sure you like and subscribe now, and let's get into it. The first thing you want to get into, as far as the toolbar, is the selection tool. Now, this allows you to select what you made. So, let's just say I made a brush scribble. Let's just say I did that. The selection tool will allow you to select all of that. This little dot thingy circle, white circle, we'll get into later. That's also going to be a part 2 thing because it's a little bit more advanced. But you can just select and delete by pressing these buttons. So if I make brush scribble or whatever, I can select it and it'll give us this new toolbar here. The opacity, the stroke width, if I want to change that, I don't want to. The stacking order, the move, you can press and hold this to move it around. The lock, so you can lock it, and simply press the lock thing to unlock it. So if you press lock, you'll press this small lock over here to unlock that. And so can also duplicate it however many times we want. However, there's this undo, but these undo and redo buttons, I'm just gonna undo twice because I duplicated it twice. And there's finally the delete button to just delete what you selected. I'm gonna go, and I didn't miss that dot. Oops, I undid. Hold up. Delete and you dot. We deleted as well. Bye dot. Alright. So, also guys, you may be wondering why the dots aren't completely like smooth when it comes to showing the touches. That's just Illustrator. I'm not actually lagging, just so you know. I'm doing perfectly fine. So if you notice that you're not lagging or anything, it's simply just Illustrator. So yeah, that's the selection tool, and that's all the selection tools for that bar that you get when you select stuff. There's still this whole bar for layers, properties, precision, and all of this advanced stuff. That's going to be part 2, but this is part 1, so we'll move on to the next tool, which is direct selection. Now, let's say I made a brush scribble again. Just make some random lines. And we do direct selection. What this does is now it gives us access to all the dots and points, so we can adjust that or whatever. You can just hit simply the top or bottom of those dots that you'd like. So yeah, I mean, this would be helpful if you try to make a good splash or whatever. But if you want only one selected, then just select whatever one you like. And you can just move these points around. It's a lot easier to use though if you're using the pen tool. Let's say I did that, and we'll use direct selection. You can select one of those points. You can double tap it to make it like curvy, or whatever, and then just use that to angle the curve. You could also press it into these little tool things. So let's just say by the way, you can use this white circle thing and hold it to shift select or like multiple select things. You can cut or like path cut, which will basically give you a cut in between those into each other. It's a little weird. I'm not really good at explaining it. I guess it separates the two cuts, or the two paths. But yeah, we'll just delete both of those. And yeah, that's basically the direct selection tool. It allows you to edit the individual points of a selection. So let's get into the next tool, which is pen. Now, this tool can be very useful if you're sketching out something very specific. So, say tap, 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 tap. I make this weird shape. Now, you can make all kinds of shapes and stuff with this, but the thing is, you can also do this thing where you click on this button and hit the fill, and then click on this and hit the line. And this will allow for that line instead of a fill of color. So now you can go back to the selection tool, and this is one cool thing. You can select these 3 lines over here and then change the stroke width to how much like width and thick it is for you to see. I think it's actually really cool because it allows you to see things a lot better, and can actually help. You can also do whatever you'd like as far as this stuff. I'm just doing random stuff for this tutorial. By the way, with the pen tool, if you tap and hold somewhere, it allows it to be at an angle or like curvy instead of straight. So keep that in mind. That can be very useful if you're trying to create nice dynamic artwork. But yeah, and using the pen tool, you can also add, let's say you're doing direct selection, you're like, oh man, there's this specific stuff that isn't here that I wish was there, or something like that. We simply could just go back to the pen tool and tap on where you want that new thing, and now allows for more flexibility when it comes to moving things around. And I think that's very useful in my projects, and it can help you guys too. So, that's basically it for the pen tool. There isn't so much more to it. However, you can still create amazing projects with it. So yeah, I'm just going to select all of that. And if you want to select everything a lot easier, you could just simply click or press the layer 1 icon or layer thumbnail and just delete all that. If you want to know how I got to that, you simply just press that layer button, and there you go. But anyways, let's get into the next 2 tools. It's not eraser, no, but we're getting into pencil and blob brush. Now first we're gonna go over pencil. Pencil is simply just like pen, except you can actually draw with it. So unlike pen, I can't actually like, notice when I said tap and hold to make it curvy, that's not drawing. Let's say you actually want to like draw with it, like as you can see with the touch input, it's not actually like a draw thing, like as you can see. But if I just select and delete all that and use the pencil, it'll allow me to actually draw with the thing, but it still makes those little dots as you go along with the pencil tool, so it's still editable. And you can, of course, if you're doing direct selection, you can, it's the same with pens, you can go in and simply just add, and simply just use pen, don't use pencil to use, but just use pen to add more dots and flexibility to your thing. And that's how pencil and pen can be used together. But pencil is just to actually like draw. Pen is you can do straight lines, or you can make very curvy lines, but it's not going to give you the drawing dynamic as a real pen or pencil would. And so yeah, I really hope you guys understand it. I'm trying to make it as least confusing. You may not get it, but I hope you do, and I'm sorry if it doesn't make sense. Anyway, guys, next is the blob brush tool. Now, this tool is a little different than pen and pencil, where instead of you having these points where you can use direct and select and stuff and make it more editable, blob brush gives you a drawing dynamic like pencil, except it's not as easy to edit, but it was the thing I was showing you earlier with the selection and direct selection tool. Those tools, and I was doing that. I was using Blob Brush to show you guys. But basically, just so you can understand, let's say I draw, and I draw that, right? Now use direct selection. You see, it's not the same. There's different dots on different sides of the stroke itself. So for them, it's still editable, yes, but you're gonna have to edit it like I showed earlier, where it's not the same as pencil or pen. And I hope this makes sense. I'm sorry if it doesn't, but I really hope you get it. You can still move things around and stuff. It's just a little bit different than pencil and pen because blob brush, you have to edit the dots on both sides, and you can't just go in and use pen. And I mean, you can, but it just will only be on one side or the other rather than being in the middle. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. And if it doesn't, I'm sorry, but I think you should get it. So we'll just delete those and we'll move on to the next tool, which is eraser. Now if we just use the blob brush and accidentally be like, oh no, I scribbled on my drawing. You use the eraser tool and just simply erase all of that. But if you, let's say, use layers, which again, I'm not doing a full in-depth on this. This is just still part 1. Part 2, I'm going to go into this whole side of the UI as well. But that's going to be in part 2. So make sure we get 20 likes if you want a project reveal for Illustrator to reveal what projects I've actually made. Anyway, guys, let's just say, like, on layer 1, I'm just drawing some waviness. And on layer 2, I go to layer 2 and make some additional edits. And I'm like, oh, God, I just scribbled on my thing. Horrible. Oh, my God. Oh, what the, hold on. That went wrong, trying to explain during the video. That was a mess up. Alright, so I have those 3 waves, right? And I'm on layer 2 now, and I'm just like, oh no, I scribbled on my picture. What do I do? What the heck? Why does it keep drawing on layer 1? Hold on. Let's just go to layer 2, and we'll just make these weird... Okay, I know why it's going to layer 1. Let's just say we make these weird things around our drawing, these extra waves that we don't want. It's like, oh my god, this is horrible. Like, what? And then we scribble on our drawing. Well, simply, if you erase layer 2, it should not erase layer 1. Oh, no, it does. Oh, wait, that's because you have to select different paths to erase if you don't want to erase layer 1, but you're practically just going to be erasing everything. So yeah, let's just say you made a mistake or something, made a slight line, you should be able to erase. You can also change the brush size down here as well as the color and stuff that I showed earlier to change from fill to stroke. You simply will just go down here, tap the fill, and then go up here and tap stroke, and now you have a stroke when it comes to blob brush. Anyway, that was just something. I guess the eraser didn't work like I thought it would. So, we're just going to delete layer 2. By the way, to delete layers, you just drag the layer to the left, and you'll see this text button, which will change the title, or there would be a delete one, but you can't delete the first layer in Illustrator. You can only delete the second one, or the one after the first. So we'll just delete the second one. Anyway, guys, the next tool is rectangle slash, or the next 4 tools is rectangle slash circle slash triangle slash star. Now these tools are just used for different things and patterns and stuff. It's actually really cool. Let's just say you're making a circuit board layout, right? It's like, okay, these are the different processors or chips that go into my circuit board. So let's just say these black rectangles, and then we'll add another layer, and simply to move layers under each other or over each other, you just, well, press and hold on them and then drag them under another layer. It'll give this weird little line or whatever. And so let's just say those black rectangles are the chips of our circuit board. We make another big rectangle, and we just move it around, and then we're like, okay, we make this a different color because it's circuit board. So we'll just go and do that. This isn't detail, this is just an example. And let's just say, like, okay, that is cool and all, but one of these chips, I don't think I'll need that, so I just need to change that to lines because I don't need that. So we'll simply just go, like I showed earlier, how to change from stroke to fill, and you'll see, like, oh, that's actually not a chip or something. Like, that's actually not supposed to be a chip. That's supposed to be something that goes over another chip or something, or whatever the reason is or thing is. To be like, yeah, let me just note that that goes slightly under the black chip or whatever, and I need to keep that in mind. Or maybe you'll just need to duplicate it multiple times. So let's say you just need to move it around, such as just move down. And actually, if you're trying to move something under something, but the thing and the over it gets in the way, and you start moving that instead, well, it's a simple solution. Select the thing you want over in the layers tab or under the thing, and then use the move thing like I showed earlier in the toolbar in the selection tool. And that's basically what the rectangle tool can do. You can also have some gradients over here, which is just color in general, if you have fill on. But, I mean, yeah, it goes for the same for circle and stuff. You can just make gradient or fill or stroke. Let's just say we're going to make some stars. You can just make some different weird shaped stars. And let's just say triangle. I meant to do triangle before star. But let's just say we need some weird triangles for no reasons. I'm sorry, I'm messing up the circuit board example, but you get it. All the tools technically do the same thing. You just drag to make it and resize it how you need it, distort it or whatever. So yeah, let me just delete everything in layer 1. And let me just delete layer 2. Alright, so next tool, the next tool is the text tool. Next is text. Anyway, basically to actually get your keyboard to type, you'll just use this little type thing, or keyboard icon, and you simply just press on that, and you can type whatever you want. So let's just say that's a password or something. It's just an example. It's not an actual password, okay? So you can scale it like that. You notice when you scale it, it says constrained. That's because it's transforming constrained to the rest of the text. Anyway, so yeah, this really is text thing. I don't know what this tool does. Let's just see. Yeah, guys, I have no idea what this other text thing does, but I don't use it. This stuff is just the kind of paper you're using or whatever. Artboard presets. There's not too many, but there's a good amount you can pick from. That's to make new artboards or whatever. So I should be like, oh yeah, I need to make this new artboard. You can do that to make a new artboard. And so yeah. Guys, the last thing we're gonna go over finally is the import thing. I just import photos. Actually, I should have said that stuff first, but that's simply just to import from photos. Or you could do camera, which will simply because it's for text or whatever, since it's masked for text, which I actually did not expect. That's pretty cool. So I could take a picture, and that picture could be masked into the text. I actually did not know you could use that in Illustrator. I think it was because of the clipping mask, which is something you could do files, cloud documents, libraries, whatever you need. But right now, that is it, guys, for this tutorial. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. We're trying to get to 50 subs. I hope this helped you. Also, make sure to comment down below if you need a part 2. I am making a part 2 regardless, but make sure this video gets 20 likes if you guys want a project reveal for Adobe Illustrator. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.